So, as I'm making this video, it's already been a day since June 14th, where we were celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. And as a result of the celebration, we had a massive military parade that occurred in Washington, D.C. And before I get into this video, I thought that the parade was great. In all honesty, I think it could have been better. I give it an 8 out of 10. Because I wish that there was a little bit more emphasis on the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, and the Spanish-American War. While they are not as prominent as, say, the World Wars or even the most current War on Terror, they're no less very important in how the U.S. Army, or even the United States at large, became what it is today. But I'm not here to talk about the parade. I'm here to talk about the No Kings protest, which occurred as a result of partly, at least, this parade. Because the mainstream media, as I said before in my previous video, tried to attack Donald Trump, saying that he is trying to establish a military parade because his birthday, coincidentally, was on June 14th. And yet, again, as I said before in my previous video, and I'm just going to be very quick here, that is obviously not the case. It was an obvious lie. Nonetheless, that still got a lot of people up and angry. But at the same time, part of the protest was a result of the ICE raids that have been occurring, especially with what has been going on in Los Angeles. But here's the thing that and a lot of people have actually noticed this. Many of the protesters of the No Kings rally were a bunch of 60 to 70-year-old white people who already hated Donald Trump. Boomers, I mean. Now, there were definitely a few young people, like some millennials, but overall, mostly people within their 60s and 70s. In fact, there was actually one protester who was, turned out she was a 74-year-old woman who got overly emotional because she was stressed out over Donald Trump supposedly being a dictator, which is, God, it's cringe. It's very, very fucking cringe. But overall, these are the same people that have never supported Donald Trump, even probably back as far as 2016, and these are the same people that still continue to spout this entire nonsense. And of course, it's in the big cities, especially places like Washington, D.C., where it's prominently Democrats. I'm just saying, there's not really much of a coincidence there, but nonetheless, it goes to show this. I mentioned how it's mainly 60 to 70-year-old white people because these are supposedly people who are part of the Democratic Party who supposedly has been preaching this idea of diversity is our strength and all that stuff, and yet not too many how shall we say diversity within these protests. I mean, unless you're talking about Los Angeles, which I will definitely be getting into very soon. But I would say unequivocally, not just in the fact that the target, not just with the fact that the protesters were so old and they did really get the young generation to come out, which actually showed that a lot of the young generation either is indifferent with the current administration or even supportive of it. But the very recent situations that have occurred, especially with what happened in Minnesota, have showed that the No Kings rally has fallen flat due to the massive amounts of violence. Here's the thing. Before I get into Minnesota, just about a week ago, you had the L.A. riots that started, at least, and it's still continuing on, by the way, as a result of ICE raiding and detaining illegal immigrants, especially those who have a criminal record. A very long criminal record, aside from the fact that, well, they illegally enter the country. In fact, if I recall correctly, one of the people, or at least one of the groups of people, actually was being arrested because of establishing a money laundering scheme. But apparently that pissed off a lot of people within LA enough to the point where they intentionally tried to prevent ICE from doing their job and started rioting. To the point where basically LA was up in flames. And the National Guard of California came in, and the Marines as well, at the behest of Donald Trump. Not Gavin Newsom, Donald Trump. And of course, Gavin Newsom, as well as Carrie Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, tried to point the finger at Donald Trump, saying that he somehow started these riots. Make that make sense. And here's the thing. The No Kings rally was on the cusp of the LA riots. These same LA riots occurred as a result of people being in opposition to deportations that a majority of the American public support, to the point where they elected Donald Trump to do just that. Don't you think that's a very bad way to send your message? And not only that, there was the fact that there was a stabbing in New York City. The riots are still, again, continuing on, and let's just say they're still waving Mexican flags. And although I have seen a few American flags, but honestly, I would say that that's honestly more of a cover now, given with the No Kings rally, and it's just become a prominent symbol of this year's LA riots, with a man waving a Mexican flag instead of an American one, especially as the city burns. And not only that, there is allegedly a leftist who was an associate with Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, killing a representative as well as injuring a senator. And not only that, said assassin killed the representative's husband and injured the senator's wife. I hope to God, by the way, that the senator and his wife make it. But it's clear that the situation has just gone downhill. Absolutely gone downhill because of the violence. The No Kings rally has just their message has just fallen flat. Absolutely fallen flat. There's no way they could be able to somehow recover. Or maybe not exactly recover, but I would say that they fumbled the ball so badly. Donald Trump didn't even need to pick it up because he was already in the touchdown zone, if you understand what I'm getting at. It was just so bad. By the way, in regards to the Minnesota shootings or the Minnesota assassination, I have heard a lot of reports how the representative as well as the senator voted the day before on a bill where they said they voted no against giving health care to illegal immigrants. And then the next day, the assassination occurred. Or in the case of the senator, the assassination attempt. It's very sus to me. Just my personal opinion. The guy happens to have been known by Tim Walz. He was put on the board of advisors by him, and this came in the cusp of a very prominent issue, especially within the state of Minnesota, in regards to a national issue being illegal immigration. I don't know. I'm not saying that Tim Walz is guilty of anything, but again, it feels very sus, and I really hope that there's some kind of investigation going on, because this is just really weird. By the way, I doubt that Tim Walz is going to become the nominee of the Democratic Party after this, let alone even a candidate. This is just a bad look for him in general. But either way, the fact that there was violence on No Kings rally in many places, not just LA, but of course in Minnesota, in New York City, where there was the attempted stabbing. yeah, the message has fallen flat. There is no other way to say it. And honestly, they only have themselves to blame. If the Democratic Party at large and a lot of people on the left wing actually stopped espousing radical speeches like trying to compare MAGA supporters to the Nazis and Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler and him claiming to be a dictator and stuff like that. Instead, maybe, just maybe, they could actually help decrease the violence because they're trying to stop inflammatory rhetoric. But what do I know? What the hell do I know? After all, I'm not with the No Kings rally, and I'm definitely opposed to the Democratic Party. My name is Noami, and I'm the Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or my improv, please post in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.